Welcome to Breaking News Wahala this hour. 69 persons who are alleged to be homosexuals have been arrested in an alleged gay wedding. The Delta State Police had stormed the venue and arrested 69 persons, which they paraded at their police station.
Who is the bride? Who's the groom?
This is the bride.
Who is the bride?
This is the groom.
Easy. It's your microphone. Bend down some more.
I came for an event in Warri here for a fashion show. And luckily to me, while I was going for an event, while dressed up, I wanted to perform on stage for the event. On my way going to the event, some police people attacked me and took me into the police station.
Are you a male or a female?
I'm a male.
Then why are you dressed like a female? Just tell us.
I dressed as a female because I'm a model. I wanted to perform on stage.
If I may ask you, as an actor, you're supposed to dress at the venue, not outside the venue. So what exactly changed?
Okay. I was supposed to dress at the venue because the venue's hotel, everything is occupied. So I have to go and lunch in another hotel close to the hotel. That's why
So how do you feel being paraded today? And how do you feel with the offense that they said you committed against the law?
this is a committed an offense why dress like this. But I don't know if cross dressing is an offense. If it's against the constitution of the land, I've not seen it.
Are you a gay?
I'm not a gay.
Were you aware that the event in question is gay related?
No, the event requested was an all-white party.
Look at the camera. You are wrong.
Trying to.
The other people speak loud.
I was wrong. I was very drunk. I don't know what I said.
What was the person do to you that you say stop? Just rule. Go on talking.
So where's your fashion base? Yeah? What's the name of your company? And you do all of the makeup or what is it?
Whatever I'm related to me, I was advertising. That's what I do. So when I hear about it, I realized that Instagram is one thing I was in the party. Now they are offered an award if I failed, and that was what we did. So we say,
Dressing the way you're dressing.
so that was the time to come and ask you that. So, really, but really, that is not so new. Because I think everything was simple. I'm coming as a society. So, when I came to the everything they promised me was right of it, they did everything. So, after doing this whole thing, they organized this for my down, all these people for my down. So, as I was at the event, I came outside. Then they were hosting a party there. I was not at the party or where they were hosting the party. I was at the reception of the hotel.
But were you aware that it's a gay related party? Because you said there's a video of a gay wedding that was going on.
I was not at the event. I was not there to stand. I was in the party and which I was told to come and award. As I came,
To you, went for an award. Is this way to dress?
the person in that was very show clearly stated that I should come and they are inviting me to go again. So I should consider I'm a model and I can advertise any kind of thing. I should come and advertise.
No, that you should dress this way.
The female attire. If they
You
can,
should dress in the female attire.
yes.
Is it your wedding dress? What's your name?
My name is Daniel. Daniel Pius.
What interested?
Okay, I'm a fashion designer.
So a friend of mine invited me to a party. So I was told to showcase my outfit there. So I'm not a crossdresser. I didn't make up. I didn't put on anything related to female attire. So the only thing that was corresponding to the female attire was on my hand, and it's fashion. It's all over everywhere because most of my outfit I took it from Instagram, from an Instagram fashion designer. The orange, you can go to this page and you can search for it. Yes. So I took most of the ideas there so that I can use to show and to showcase because I'm a fashion designer.
For an online show.
Sorry?
For an online show.
Online.
An all-night show.
Okay. Online show.
It's a fashion display in an all-night event
Yes.
with only male.
No, not only male. Generally, both genders, male and female.
What is
Sorry?
what is this thing? What are you saying? What are you?
Yes, I'm not worried. But not worried basically. I stay in Accra.
Where's your
Okay, it's in Accra.
And social media has been on fire since the release of this news and the 69 persons. But unfortunately, the names of the 69 persons arrested by the Delta State Command has not been released to the public. But here with me is Obey Joshua, my co-host for Breaking News Wahala. Obey, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you here again. And
So Obey,
so honored for the invitation.
give us a detail of what happened. How did you hear about this news about the 69 person arrested in Delta State? And what is the behind story?
After 2 days after the event was over, I got a copy of my notification back concerning the event that occurred. And I heard that there were 69 arrested for the for whatsoever thing they called it. And then the next thing was I found out again that 13 of them were HIV positive. So according to how I just went, I did not had a deep research of it, but I just had to move around. So there were 67 of them that were arrested because of it. And when I went further into it, I even found that it was also HIV positive, and also the 13 of them were diagnosed positive for that. So that was just a little about it at Delta State early last week. So that was it. Yeah.
So, how did the police get to know that 13 of them were HIV positive? Did they parade the suspect and bring in a nurse to do a HIV test on the suspected homosexuals? Like, why is that even important at this situation? Again, with the story being that it was 69 person at a gay wedding, we can see from the videos that most of the flyers that were posted, it says white party. From the video again, we see that it's not 69 persons that attended this wedding. We could see the number of crowd, and from an estimate we could say it was over 200 plus persons at that event. You could also hear the MC of the event calling high profile names in the video. He was calling high profile names.
Wait. One material. DJ, wait. The manager of Reno here gave this money. DJ, now to remain with the respect of this kind of people. The manager of Reno here gave this money. Okay. Give this money. When you get money. So as when you go stand here. So as you come back, stand here. Stand here when you go. That's the manager of Reno here. Give this money. Give this money. The previous family follows. The manager of Reno here. Give this money. civilian family. Oh God, you don't know. You don't know. The police are free now yet. The police are free now yet, so civilians. Thank you. Oh God. Hey God, hey God, hey God. So civilians. The police are free now yet. The police are. Thank you very much, DJ. Thank you very much. DJ. Thank you very much.
And most of the people we saw in the video, we do not see them at the police station. How is it that the police came up with only 69 persons arrested, over 100 plus persons in attendance for a white party?
You know, we tend to believe whatsoever that comes to the news or whatsoever thing that comes online, the work of the journalist. My speaking for myself, I know that there were more than that because some years back, 2015, I have a friend of which is better the way it is. So there was also an arrest that happened during the time of James Brown. They didn't call to me. That scenario or something that happened during the day. There were about 400 of attendants. So I know that in such a gathering like that, that number is a lie. The number is a lie. So talking about how the police got to know about their health status, according to the information and the detail that I got from them, it was said that some diagnoses were run and see how it happened. Because first, the groom was checked. They told the groom to pull off. I saw the video. And when he pulled off, he was asked to turn around. So
So you mean police? Wait, sorry for cutting you short. You mean that the police of Nigeria asked the groom to strip naked on
sure,
camera?
Carry am down, make I see how you open. Carry am down. Carry am down. See on yash. I think see on yash. Open our eyes here, see on yash. Hey! Yes, oh yeah. See your. Hey! Yes, oh yeah. Carry am down,
Sure.
And they began
So
to
when
sexually harass this suspect.
now see what happened there. According to the video, when he was asked to take off the attire and he did, so they had a camera to his ass, and there you will even find out that the guy is infected. It's clear. So from there already they had this knowledge of okay, fine, let's try to diagnose all these people to find out what else. And you know that when it comes to that part of the sexuality, the LGBT community, you know that when it comes to them speaking the truth, you know that the rate of immune patients to HIV, you know that is too much. You know that and the number of the LGBT community, they cover a high rate of having HIV and the rest of it. So when the groom was checked on, the police realized that there were some infections. Obviously, you just know it was so bad. Even me myself, I was disappointed. I don't know if you saw Bobrisky right of that. You needed to see
What
it.
did Bobrisky have to say in this? But first,
She was
before we move on to what Bobrisky had to say, I cannot feel like when you talk about like the groom, and we know that the HIV status or the HIV percentage among the LGBTQ community is on a high rise. At this point in time, I don't think it's something for us to be sorry about. This is something that the society needs to begin to put appropriate measures on, in the sense that putting appropriate measure on is by allowing the LGBTQ community some leverage of healthcare. Most of these people who are HIV positive, because they are homosexuals, they cannot get access to healthcare. If they go to get healthcare in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they can either be arrested or in prison. So most of them tend to go to do all this abo. That's why we see that people like JP Crime Fighter Oyas are selling and are making, scamming people with this abo selling when it comes to selling, all these herbal medicine, and we've seen a lot of people die from HIV because these herbs are not working. There is no biological evidence or scientific evidence that the abo are working, and most people will be living with this HIV, suppressing it with antibiotics and abo, and infecting others. I think at this point in time, this is where Nigeria, we need to focus on the main thing. For me personally, I feel this is a political distraction in Nigeria. This event, to be honest, if you look at when James Brown was caught, during the James Brown era when he was caught, and the whole thing that happened with James Brown, we just saw them being paraded normally. After being paraded, the media comes and it looks like the government is doing something, because right now the governor of Delta State will be being praised that he has caught suspects of homosexuals. But we have headsmen that are killing people in the bush. We have people who cannot go to their farms. We have Boko Haram that is there in Zambiza forest killing we have kidnapping even in the Niger Delta. We have is it Asari Dokupa or whatever his name in River State, who has been carrying gun and saying he will shoot every Igbo person. Any Igbo person that comes out, he's ready with his militant to shoot people. We did not see the police go after such. We did not see the police go after such people. But we see the police go after the vulnerable in the society. We see the police go after people who do not have lawyers. We see the people that are being paraded in this video are people from low income household. We know from that party that children of politicians were there. We know from that party children of senators were there. Where are the children of the high class that were also in attendance in that party? We saw the MC mention men of timber and caliber present in that party. But this is a political distraction, like always. Right now, we know that what is his name? Mr. Obi had gone to the electoral panel to what's the word? Obi had gone to the electoral panel to fight the election with Tinubu, who is president. I think Nigerians should be more focused that after Mr. Obi's case has been heard by the electoral panel, why is the media not focused on the result? What is the electoral panel of the election, the result from where Mr. Peter Obi has gone to fight Tinubu? That is what the media should be giving us, because the media wants to make sure that Nigerians are focused on the wrong thing. That is why they have brought up this story to cook up this story. Nobody is asking question about the result with Mr. Obi and Tinubu in the electoral panel. Nobody is focused on that. But we are all
Yes.
distracted now with this homosexual thing. I think homosexuals, gay people in Nigeria have been used as political examples, as political distraction, as political mesmerizing. I think this is high time.
To take off their mind on the necessary issue, on the necessary problem we are facing in Nigeria. Now, I think this year, before a police will storm such place, I believe this is a well calculated intel that was given out. Because if the hotel manager, that is allows such gathering or meeting to take place, it means he has also assured of a good security. That is it. And speaking from how everybody is now fighting this set of people because of this, the thing is, number one, I must say, it was wrong for such to be held in Nigeria. We know it. This is our
Yes,
father's land. We know how it is.
we know the fact that the law is against any gay marriage, and I think there is nobody in their right senses that will want to. Let's even have that conversation. There will nobody in Nigeria that will want to hold a gay wedding, because, like, now let's look at it legally and constitutionally when we talk about gay marriages, right? In a marriage, you either have the church wedding, which we call the white wedding, which the priest has to be or to officiate and give you a license from the marriage registrar, or you have a court wedding, which you have to go to the registrar itself and get legally married. And we have the traditional wedding, which the elders, from the Igbo section, right? The elders of the village must be there. Uncles, relatives must be there to hand out
Correct.
this, and the
That
bride
is why I
price will be
believe
paid.
it's a political play.
Yes, we cannot call this a gay marriage because there is no credibility legally, constitutionally, traditionally,
You get it.
or religiously to call this a gay wedding, because it's not a wedding. So we can say, okay, it's
There
a
is no way
celebration.
you know something is this. There is no way there is a coming together of two becoming one without someone joining the both together. That is just the truth. Because when you watch the clip or when you check that video, you will find out that there is no parish priest, no pastor, no legal no legal backup for the joining of the both of them to be one. So I can see this that this is another play just for a little distraction to set people aside from what is happening men in the country. Because when you look at this, you find out that oh yeah, now let's see how this is going to happen. Now, after 2 days after the arrest, I got a pop-up notification in my notification bar, and the thing was that international armistice has ordered for their release. Yes, we know that is going to happen. But the thing is, secondly, I think if that's that's
Sorry, you're breaking up
gathering,
a bit. Yeah. Yes, go on. Your network is breaking up a bit, but
I,
carry on.
are you listening? Are you
Carry.
hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Carry on.
Good, good. Sorry. So what I'm saying is this: you see, the purpose for the gathering was not just to bring to the limelight what the people in the community want or something. Everybody knows what the law is about. Everybody knows that in Nigeria it is an abomination for such a thing to happen in this country.
So, viewers, I think we have
So
a
I
glitch.
don't think it's one to. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Go on.
I don't see it wise enough for someone to engage in such a gathering. It is not. All of us we want pleasure. Pleasure is something you can't deny. That is just the truth. It's something that you can't just pick aside anyhow. That is just we know what everybody knows what everybody wants the life they want to live. That's why Bob said, if you see that where you are is not going to give you what you want, you live there and go and get your life, get what you want somewhere else. If you think the coming together is what the both of them wanted. So I think it is better for them to go for a good way to make that work. Although I know that that is not a gay marriage per se, because there is no legal backup for that. There is nothing showing that it is really what they think it is. That is it for the meantime. And secondly was this: when the 13 of them was diagnosed for HIV positive, um, they were charged to uh, court or something. They were charged to court, yes, and then they were given 5 years. That was what they were given 5 years. That is the recent thing that we check up on the internet. So that is it for now.
Thank you, Mr. Obid, for that information. I just think this is just a time for the LGBTQ community to wake up. I have said this from day one. I'm like, invest in your community, invest in what matters. Right now, everybody has been calling to hear what Q Talk has to say, what Marvelous has to say. I'm speaking about Marvelous. Marvelous is not here, but he'll soon be joining us very soon back on Q Talk. He's busy on other important matters. But we've been saying, I am Marvelous have said this from day one, invest in your community. Right now, when this incident happened, you could see all the people who came on the media. Everybody on the media are making caricature of the event. You don't have any queer media there other than Curie Talk, which has been here for almost 2+ years, getting to 3 years, that has been speaking on LGBTQ matters. Imagine if we had representatives to go there to get this news first class, first hand. That would have been amazing for us to know the background stories of this. I've always encouraged queer people, don't be afraid. Fear is one thing that the government will try to oppose on you. But once they see that you're not afraid, you begin to speak up, they will begin to act right. First and foremost, we need to start questioning what is the authority of the Nigerian police when
Saying
suspects
about
are
this.
handed. I said the Bible, sorry. The Constitution says that you are not guilty until you have been charged to court. So
Exactly.
right now, these people are not guilty. What does the Same Sex Act prohibition say? It says if you are caught in the act of any homosexual activity, one first and foremost, there is no way we can say this is a homosexual activity. This could have been a fashion parade. On the posters, we see it called a white party. So until they've been charged to court adequately, One, why were they being paraded and humiliated? These are human beings. If you look at America today, if you look at the America judicial system and how America treats its inmates, I'm talking about people who have been charged to court, people who have been found wanting, and people who have been put in prison. Look at American prisons. American prisons are looking like hotels. American prisons are well facilitated and funded. But look at Nigerian prisons. The way we treat the least in the society determines how other nations will treat you. If you are treating your own citizens like this, parading them, shaming them, opening their nakedness, showing their nude online, even a police officer that should be in the institution, who is supposed to be properly trained, properly instructed, properly coordinated, is saying, open your yansh, see how your yansh they smell. That shows you the corruption in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in the police
Exactly.
academy in Nigeria. Who and who should be called a police officer? Who and who should not be called a police officer? The way we treat the least in our society determines how others will treat you. Why would people in India treat Nigerians any better? Look at how
You
you're
know,
treating your citizens. Why would
most
people
of
in
them are just
America?
most of them are homophobic because most of them are homophobic. Most of these policemen, see, most of because when you listen
It's
to
not
them,
even
most of the
it's
comments
not even being about
they were called
homophobic
on
or being
different.
no homophobic. It's not even a matter of being homophobic or not homophobic, or being a believer or not being a believer. It's a matter of the system being adequate for everybody. Even if a person was caught to say he had killed a person, the proper way for a police is to go to the scene, gather evidence, take the suspect to the station, put the suspect in the jail, charge him to court, and take him before a jury that will begin to examine the evidence. Once the evidence has been
Yes,
properly looked upon,
it's clear.
then he'll be sent to prison. And then in prison, you will get whatever prison, sentence he deserves. That is how the system should work. So we are not talking about being homophobic or not being homophobic. We are talking about the Nigerian police being professional. We see where the Nigerian police have said they are professional, and this is addressed to the Delta Police Command. The Delta Police Command, we are not, see, right now, I'm not talking about if they are right or if they are wrong. Everybody knows that it's illegal to do a gay wedding in Nigeria. All of us agree on that matter.
Exactly,
But what
exactly.
we are looking at the system on how these suspects were arrested, the system of how they were paraded before the media and asked ridiculous questions. That's the second thing. We are looking at how the Nigerian police carried not people, not convicted felony. We're calling them suspect because they are still suspected. They've not been charged to court. So you carried suspect. We don't know if they have been fed. We don't know how the system, how you have been treating them, but from the videos we can see you stripped an inmate naked. Not only stripping an inmate naked, you literally ask the inmate to open up his
To
asshole
open
for
up
you to
so that you
see
see.
so that you can see, so that you can
What does
see.
he want to
Not
see?
only that, you also went and you violated their act of the human right privacy. You went
No, they won't
ahead
see
to
that,
disclose their HIV status. A
but
HIV
which
status
is wrong medically.
should not be made public. So we are not talking about them being
Exactly.
homosexuals or being guilty or not being guilty, but we are saying that the act in which the Nigerian police and all the police officers that were in line in doing this should be dismissed with immediate effect. If it was a place like Canada, they will be dismissed without even questioning anything and charged to court for human rights violations. So you cannot correct two wrongs by doing another wrong. I feel at this point in time, this is where community members you people have called me king of ketos, but let me say this very clear.
I like that
I'm
smile
in
again. Smile
in a
again.
very
Smile again. Chill.
comfortable
Smile.
I, I'm in a very comfortable place. I'm in a very comfortable place where I don't need to worry. But I'm worried because I honestly do care and I have lived in Nigeria. I know what it means to be living in fear. I know what it means to be living where your family members will ridicule you and even separate themselves from you. I know what
I
it
saw
means to
it.
live in a society where you have been jeopardized. So this is a time for community members. Instead of all this WhatsApp group being about porn and sex, I think this is a high time we need to begin to talk about serious matter. Now this story
Yes.
has come up. Now this event has come up. Who is speaking for you? Where are the legal practitioners? Where are the lawyers in the community? Silent. Where are the politicians in the community? Silent. Where are the judges in the community? Where are the medical doctors in the community? Silent. Where are the police officers we know that are in the
We
police
know
force, that are
exactly. We know them. We
LGBTQ
know them.
members? Where are they? Silent. Everybody is silent. To be silent about a matter is to give them the upper hand to continue to oppress. So where are the NGOs? Are the NGOs speaking for you? Are the NGOs going to bail you? These are the things we need to talk about. Community members, we are so focused on foolish things that we've forgotten to build our
I'm
community.
telling you
And
the
that is
truth.
why they
That's
are
it.
just there. They are there just, using us anyhow they like. But anyways, thank you, Obed Joshua. This has been Breaking News Wahala. We'll give you more updates on the news coming. We are back. We are fully back on YouTube. We are fully back on Instagram too. So please follow us at Q Talk on Instagram, Q Talk NG on Instagram, and follow us if you have not subscribed. We'll be having more guests, and we'll be having a community panel to discuss about the same incident so that we'll know what are the right steps to follow and what is the backstory and what is going on ground. Like Obed says, they say they have been given a 5 years imprisonment with nobody. We didn't even see the court process. We did not even see the court hearing. They just slap 5 years. They can slap another 5 years. They can put anything they like. This should not be so. I think every Nigerian citizen has the right to go through the legal system. Welcome to Breaking News Wahala. Our 69 persons who are alleged to be homosexuals have been arrested in an alleged gay wedding. The Delta State Police had stormed the venue and arrested 69 persons, which they paraded at their police station